Hey everyone, I'm Nate.
And I'm Abby.
We're the TheRcSaylors, and we're pretty excited to show you this drone today. We had the Dragonfly 2 on our channel. It's probably been a few months, but it did really well. Had altitude hold, you could aim the camera up and down. Well, now we have the Dragonfly 3. This has a gimbal installed of some sort. We're not exactly sure how well it's going to work, but let's take a quick look inside the box, then put this in the air and see how it flies. This isn't going to be exactly how the drone comes. We've already taken things out so that we could charge the batteries and show this to you today. But let's see here. Now the exciting thing about this is that this drone is under $150, really good size, about the size of like a DJI Phantom or something. And check this out. It has a rubber grommet mounted 2-axis gimbal, and it feels good. It feels brushless. It's very smooth, so I'm pretty excited to get this in the air. That is very nice. Really like that.
We had a version like this one on the channel, but it didn't have a gimbal, and we loved it. And we had the 5.8 gigahertz version.
Yeah,
we only have the camera version, not even the Wi-Fi version of this one.
Right.
But it does come in different options,
yeah,
so we'll have those linked below for you.
The transmitter looks really good. This is going to be a line of sight flyer. We're basically just testing this gimbal out today to see how the video quality looks.
And the drone.
And the drone itself. You're
performs.
right. So there are some prop guards in here. They're zip tied in. We're not going to use those, but they just snap on. Super easy installation. Everything else that we have are pretty basic instructions. Then we have a charger.
There's an instruction booklet too.
Oh, I see. We've got the charger here with a funny little charging bay because of the proprietary battery. You have to plug this in to that to charge. It does a good job. It's just different. And then we have 8 propellers, 4 spares in here, and then the 4 main ones. And then we also have an included micro SD card and a USB card converter, and then the instructions that Abby was talking about. I want to install these props, and we're going to put this in the air because I think it's going to be so awesome. Set the drone down, plug in the battery. That's how it gets power. Unfortunately, there's no on-off switch. Then you turn your transmitter on and give it throttle down, all the way up, then down, and your lights should go solid. They do look good. Let me show you. Can you see the lights pretty well?
Mm-hmm.
Those look good on the legs and the arms. And then check the gimbal out. I want to get a close shot of the gimbal.
Wow.
It's working really well.
3 axis?
2 axis, because there's no yaw. 2 axis, and it sounds, pretty sure that's brushless. If not, I apologize, but I'm pretty sure that's brushless.
That's impressive.
Very. I brought the instructions out with us because I have buttons that say speed LH 2 tranches. No, there's no accent there.
Tranches.
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 So I don't know what that does.
It's tranches, y'all.
2 tranches. Makes sense, right?
No.
I also have on the head and under the head. So let's just go ahead and start the motors down and out. And I want to point this out. One motor's not spinning, and I want to tell you why. A lot of people think that when one motor's not spinning, it's because there's something wrong with their drone. That's not the case. Drones have auto level. Right now, that is the highest prop. So it's not going to spin, and the others are going to spin faster to try to level it off, even though it's on the ground. So we should just be able to auto take off now. Cool. And I really want to test this video out, so let's go ahead and hold the video button. I do not have any indicator on my transmitter, but I do have something telling me how fast I'm flying. That's kind of cool. There's some telemetry going on here. Alright, let's just turn the camera around and try to focus on us a little bit. That gimbal is amazing on this. I cannot believe they can put a gimbal on a drone like this. I mean, this is cool. That is very cool. We're in the shade, so it might not be a good shot, but yeah, pretty cool. Let's go fly around some. Now this drone does have altitude hold, and it's working really well. I love the way this thing looks. Those big legs coming down. It looks really cool.
I want to fly this at night.
Me too.
That is neat.
Might have to do this again at night. That is cool. The lights look really good. for orientation, that's awesome. Even in this bright sun, I can see the green on the front and the red on the back. That is really cool. Now, just for the sake of the video, I want to test some of the other features. So we have the button that says Speed LH2 tranches. I'd really like to know what that does. So I'm going to hit it. And I believe I'm in a higher rate. So that's what I was figuring it would do, is just rates. But let's zip it around in that high rate now. 2 tranches. And I'm at full forward, and the altitude hold is helping it stay up pretty well. Very impressed. Let's go ahead and do a fly over us. Very nice. The drone sounds good for a big brushed drone like that, even though the gimbal's brushless. And let's hit the speed tranches again. 2 rates. So we have 2 rates. Rate 1 is going to be great for filming stuff, nice and slow flying.
I wonder what they meant by tranches.
I don't know, I need to Google that. It's probably another language for rates or something. It does have rolls, flips. So I'm very curious to do a flip with this drone because I don't think I've ever flipped a drone with a gimbal. So let's just go ahead and try that. Nah, it's not letting me. Yeah, I'm hitting the button. So,
I was gonna say, that would like kill a gimbal.
Yeah, maybe when the camera is completely uninstalled, it'll let you do flips. That makes really perfect sense. Okay. We have headless mode and return to home. So I am going to try return to home out here. Beeping, letting me know that I'm in return to home, and it's actually going really far away, so I'm going to stop that. So the return to home doesn't work very well. They generally don't on these style of drones. And we also have headless mode. Let's go and test that. Headless mode is not working. I'm pushing to the right and it's coming back, pushing left and it's going away. So it may need to be recalibrated, but it's not working, unfortunately. Although that's not really why you buy a drone like this, in all fairness. As a matter of fact, I don't know anyone that ever uses headless mode or return to home unless it has a GPS. So far, I'm pretty impressed with that gimbal. Hopefully the video quality is good.
Why don't you land it and see if there's any indicator on the camera that it's filming?
Okay. Let's go ahead and try an auto landing. I know we've got it. It is right here. Let's go ahead and try to auto land. 3, 2, 1. Pretty smooth auto landing. No lights at all, Abby. Just for the sake of things, I'm going to hold the camera button. There's absolutely no indicator as to whether or not you're filming.
Nothing blinked on that when you hit it? You didn't even look?
I'm going to hit the camera again. I would think that took a picture. Now I'm going to long press or hold the button.
I wish it had different beeps.
Yeah. No indicator at all.
If you got the Wi-Fi version or the 5.8 gigahertz version, it should be able to tell you.
So down and out is to start the motor. You know, the one that says on the head and under the head, I think that's camera angle. So let me see if that's accurate. Yeah, it is. Okay, so let me show you guys this. It's called on the head and under the head. I don't know why, but these 2 buttons here control the camera angle. So I'm going to hold the drone as still as I can and angle the camera down. You see that? Mm-hmm. You can also hold it and do some cool panning shots. So let's get the drone back in the air and try some camera movement. That is really cool. The gimbal on this, amazing. Actually, Abby, I think you'd enjoy this. Would you like to fly it?
Sure.
Okay, Abby's up to control. Yeah, that's right. So we should be looking straight down right now.
Should have gotten 5.8 gigahertz.
I agree, totally. Yeah, we definitely want FPV on this. I didn't think the gimbal was going to be that nice. I've seen cheap camera gimbals before. They're usually not this nice. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Sounds kind of funny there, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's been grinding.
Yeah. How do you think about how it flies? You said it was drifting some. I think that has to do with its size. Even though there's not much wind, think about like a sail on a boat. The larger the thing is, the more wind it's going to catch and be affected by the wind. There's no GPS on here, just altitude hold. Seems like when you yaw to the right, it gets kind of a funny vibration going. Alright, you're flying around really well. Now, because there's a gimbal on here, try to give everyone like a nice smooth shot, like you were...
It's the battery.
I think that's a... Yep. So we're getting a beep on the transmitter.
And the drone is flashing.
And the drone's flashing, tells us we have a low battery, so probably should bring it down now. You're pretty high. If the
Auto land.
auto land from that high. Now you can still steer it as it's auto landing.
And what's the code of the button, baby?
Press and hold the bottom. I got it. That should do it. That's pretty nice. Not only do we have a light on the drone to tell us the battery's low, but the transmitter beeps. So if you're flying high and far away and can't see the lights, you do know that the battery is low. Overall, that is an extremely impressive drone. I think the pros and cons are a good one to kind of go over with this. And while I'm flying this, it reminded me of my very first drone with a gimbal, which was the Blade 350QX. I don't know if you guys remember that one. A lot of you still have it, probably. But that was a $500 drone when it came out. And then after it came out, you got a gimbal for it. It was like another 200 bucks or 300 bucks just for that gimbal. And so you're up to $700 or $800. And this is doing almost exactly what it did for $150. It's just crazy to see how fast technology is growing. It's amazing. Now the Blade 350QX had brushless motors, and I think it was a 3-axis gimbal and obviously a GPS, but you were still flying line of sight with a gimbal, and that's the point I'm trying to make. So that's very impressive. The pros of this drone are very obvious if you ask me. The main thing is that gimbal. It's amazingly quiet, amazingly smooth, 2-axis. I'm excited to see the camera quality. I believe it's going to be pretty nice. And I just cannot believe you can buy an entire drone with altitude hold and a 2-axis gimbal for $150. That's just insane to me. That's amazing. The lights looked outstanding on this. The lights in the legs were awesome. Lights on top and bottom of the arms, so orientation during day and night flight is very easy to figure out. Also, because of the camera on here, it stands out like a sore thumb, and you can see that that's the front of the drone where the camera is hanging down. So this is just a really cool drone. It does have a couple flaws though. I would say that the size of the drone is a flaw, but you have to have it that big to carry that gimbal. And that being the fact that Abby said, you know, it's kind of drifting a lot more than usual. Well, it's a bigger drone. It's going to be more like a kite compared to a smaller drone, which cuts through the wind a bit easier. Also, it is bigger, so you're going to see things easier on this drone than a smaller drone. It's going to be more noticeable when it's drifting because it's just easier to see. So it's, you know, it's easier to point out flaws on something that's bigger because it's easier to see.
You're right.
Here. I don't generally like proprietary batteries, although this does do a good job. When proprietary works and is affordable, I'm okay with it. When proprietary does not work and creates a problem and is expensive, that is when I don't like it. The headless mode and the return to home did not work very well, but on all drones of this level of quality, they never really do tend to work very well, and when they do, to me it's just a gimmicky selling point, and no one ever really uses those. The flips didn't work, but that's because the camera's plugged in. I believe when you unplug the camera, the flips will work. Overall, outstanding. The reason you'd buy this for anybody is that 2-axis gimbal. I would say highly recommended buying an FPV version of this. The 5.8 gigahertz would be my favorite version probably over Wi-Fi. Having the FPV of some kind is a big plus over this, so you can see your frame and know that you're filming. Not knowing you're filming was definitely a problem with this. Overall, this is a win in my book. The 2-axis gimbal at that price point, amazing. Absolutely amazing. If you're looking for smooth footage in your life on a big drone, then this is definitely one to consider. Thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you guys in the next video.
Bye!